My name is Tony Mutune. I'm from DJV Technologies, specifically from DJV Technical Department. With me, I have the Type A, Aclas CRV5X. I also have Type C, Aclas FC4. And I also have Type D, Aclas FC4 plus Aclas CRV5X. And I'll start with set the network. You start by switching it on. Start from the back button. You power it on. Then the machine will boot, says please wait. You start by setting the net parameters. How you do that? You press the clock button. You scroll using the price button to set mode. You press cash. Asks you to input a password. You enter 4 zeros, and then you press cash. First menu is DEP. You use the clock button to set net parameters. Press cash. Press again cash on set net type to choose the more preferable mode of communication. In my case, I'm going to use the Wi-Fi. Insert RJ45 to this port. If you choose 0, just insert the full SIM card to this slot. But if it's Wi-Fi, which is a wireless frequency, use number 2, then you press cash. You then need to scan the available Wi-Fi frequencies, so you get yourself to WLN, I'm a wireless local area network. Press cash, come to Wi-Fi name, press cash, scan. So once it scans, just choose the Wi-Fi you need to connect to. For example, mine, I'm going to connect to the first one. The password, I'll type A is Aclas. So to change from caps to small letters, you use shift like this. Aclas. Then type, changing from numerics to alphabet, use the function. Then you type 2005 5002. Then you press cash. So if it successfully connects, it will say OK. Then you can just come here to Wi-Fi auto DCP so that it will be picking the IP address automatically. Enable it by pressing 1, then cash. Then you can just come just down there using the price button, and you'll find the online status. Press menu. It will say online status OK. The other activities now is to go on with the sales. But before then, we need to show you how to program the PLUs or the item codes. So in our case, you can manually do this by inputting the codes on the machine, or else you can use a scanner to scan the codes as you input the data inside the machine. Press cash, press clock, price, Z, PLU. You're going to insert the USB, the scanner to the USB port at the back of the machine, like that. Then I need to scan the code so that the machine can realize the scanner. So let's say the barcode is this. So it just auto-writes. Then you press cash. Enter the desired amount, cash, stocks. Then HS code is 0. Then name, it's water. Then cash. So how to make a sale using the scanner? You can just scan the item like this. Then you print the invoice. So it will have the name, water. We have the taxes. We have the cash, which was 100. Then we have the CU invoice. Now these are the physical name tags with the QR code. So if you scan the QR code, you get this invoice online. You can also use just a direct data input from the machine, like you just type 1, price, just say 100, press price, press 1, press PLU. To have also the same, it's the same procedure if you do not have a scanner. So it will generate a similar invoice. You have water, you have the tax, you have the cash. In another scenario, you might purchase a product, let's say water at 120. You do price, you type 1 PLU, Then the customer gives you a cash of 200. So you just go directly and input 200. Then you press cash. The machine will give you change of waitable. Show you even from the invoice, it will show you received cash of 200 and a change of, you got a change of 80 according to the total figures. For customers or in a business setup whereby you are making a sale to a supplier who is going to claim VAT from your product, there's this feature we call buyer's pin. How you do that? Under the cashier or the first window in the machine, you just press shift and the price button. The machine shows you the buyer's pin. So you just type the buyer's pin. For example, in our case, I'm going just to use the company's buyer pin. So it's also important to realize you are supposed to enter a VAT obligated pin. Don't just put any pin. Just do a VAT obligated pin. So in a case, you press shift, price, still have the name buyer pin like this. Then you are able to type the buyer's pin. For example, P. To change from letters to digits, press function. Then you type 051238105 function V. Then cash. It will ask you the buyer's name. In case you say DJV, then cash. Then you enter the amount you need to do for that invoice. Price 1 PLU. So from the invoice I've generated, I'll see it has buyer pin, we have water and all the tax groups. In other cases, you might find a customer who is exempted from VAT. So what you do, you first start with their buyer's pin. For example, P 051238105 V. This buyer is exempted of VAT, so they give you an exemption number. You so press shift function, enter the exemption number, let's say 4,000, then press cash, and you are going to sell the same product, water. So you have all the features on the same invoice. We have buyer pin, we have exemption number, we have the item, we have the total, the name, the tax groups, and also the mode of payment. For example, you did the same invoice at 100, price 1 PLU, then you press say shift credit. It will say, it will give you the name that you sold this at, check this one, so you will be able to tell the difference. We have cash, then we have check. Let's say I was supposed to do 100 instead of 1,000, so I'm going to reverse 900. So how I do that, I press function and choose credit note, debit note, relevant number is this, enter the last digits after 0, which is 596, can be even 1,900 or so. So mine is 596, press menu, I choose credit 1, it auto populates the whole number, relevant number, this one. Remember, I just typed 596, so if it auto populates the whole, it means the invoice was transacted. So I now enter 900, I do price 1 PLU, same procedure as I did for the original invoice. So I'll be able to print this receipt with the nameplate, credit note, water, 900 is the amount I've reversed, the taxes, and also you'll say the relevant number of the original, this one. From the credit note, you realize that you need to add more products to the original invoice after you are credited. For example, this, which is water, I'll do a debit note. I do press function. I'll have the first window, the credit debit, I press cash. I reference the original invoice, which is 596 cash. Now this time I'm not doing credit note, I'm doing debit note, so I choose 2 cash. Then I'll now add a different product unlike water, so I'll say 1000 DP1, which is a product I named test. Then I'll do cash. So the machine will print a receipt with the name debit note, and the product I've added is test at a cost of 1000. Then you'll see the relevant number just below the QR code. The machine supports up to 25 clerks, and you might need to execute each and every clerk's report. So that report, you can only get it under the clerk report. How you get to clerk report? Just use press clerk, then use price to Z mode, then press cash. Use the price button until you get clerk report. Z report, press clerk from cashier, price, cash, then you press cash on daily Z. So machine will be able to print Z report of all transactions you've done. So you'll be able to see a number of sales made are 6 receipts. Number of ones made paid with cash is 3,320. Check 2,000. Number of invoices are 6. Credit note are only 1. Debit 1 is only 1. And the full computation. The special features we have: 1, Proforma Invoice. See, we have this business setups whereby the supplier of the goods tells you, now I'll need a physical receipt to go and claim your money, and I'll pay you at the end of the month. But you feel like, I do not want to generate an invoice, transmit the invoice, and then pay the tax which I have not received money for. So we have addressed that issue. How we have addressed it is that we have introduced the feature Proforma Invoice. So the Proforma Invoice, in my case, I would call it non-physical receipt. It's just similar to an ETR receipt without a QR code. So how you do that? You press the function, get to Proforma, press cash, then enter, let's say we need to do a Proforma invoice for water. So it's 1000, price 1, PLU, then cash. Get an invoice, Proforma invoice with the nameplate water and the taxation. But remember, this does not have a QR code because it's non-physical invoice. Discount, let's say the water is marked at 1000 and I need to do a discount of 200. So I just type 200, I press shift, then PLU. Machine shows discount. So it has deducted 200 from the 1000, then you press cash to print the receipt. So even from the receipts, you'll be able to see the discount just below water of negative 200. Thank you. To reprint duplicate, you just press cash immediately after producing the original one, and it will have the name duplicate physical receipt. Now what I'm holding is type C. So type C, it's what we traditionally called ESDs. So for the users, you all understand it's integrated to a POS system. So this small gadget is very powerful. It's able to interconnect more than 100 machines, and it's able to sign all to put this QR code in an A4 invoice. So how that is done, we have technicals who come with a PC application. There is a process of setting up the PC application and also training and making this machine active to be able to work with a PC or a laptop or whatever you have. And this is able to realize an online ERP ama POS ama invoice coming from an ERP unlike what we have for type A. Remember, type A, we're just doing the keypads. We're just typing from the machine's keyboard. This one, you just install it in a network channel. Once you have installed it, there's a configuration you do. Once that configuration is done, now you'll be executing your invoices from your normal POS, may it be QuickBooks, Zoho, Sage, or custom made. When you be printing those invoices from that QuickBooks, they have to go through this device. Once they go through this device, they are validated. A copy is stored inside the machine's memory, and then that invoice is embedded with a QR code and also a CU invoice number, just like this one. But now this is what we call 2-inch sized receipt. But for this, it can do from 3-inch sized A4, even 5 A5, and any other format, as long as it's going through a printer. Because the work of this is just depending on input from a PC or a POS system. So as long as you have this machine, just know it's upgradable. Upgradable means you purchase these control units, then we shall do an installation of a firmware inside this. So the firmware now will be realizing this external gadget. This external gadget meets the KRA requirements. We all aware of the transmission capability, the security level capability, and also the encryption standards. Once you purchase this control unit, we'll be doing the activation of the control unit. How we do that? It's just a simple process. We take your PIN, we share with you the serial number, you get it through your email, you accept the serial number, then we go back on activating the machines. So once the machine is active, you come with your Aclas CRV5X to our workshop or to the supplier, and they are able to now reinstall the firmware and put a new firmware inside the machine. And once they have done that, the machine now comes Teams ready. So it's able to print an invoice with a QR code, unlike how it was doing in the past. We have to set the control unit to the Wi-Fi. And how we do that, you switch on, use the we have a button here, and we have a nameplate above the button. So mostly it's at off. So I'll turn the button to my left hand side, which is on, and then I'll press C. Press menu, go to set, press the arrow down, press menu, enter 4 zeros. 4, you just type arrow up, auto space, arrow up again, auto space, arrow up again, auto space, arrow up again, auto space, then menu. Then just use arrow down to set net parameters. If you choose 1, just connect Wi-Fi, the Ethernet cable. If I choose 2, shows Wi-Fi. Get to WLAN like this, press menu, get to Wi-Fi name, press menu. Then the machine will be able to scan the available Wi-Fis. How to perform transactions using the machine. Want to make sale using the PLU. So you do that, use your hand again like CRV5X. Amount, you press price, press 1, then PLU. It will be able to call water, then you press cash. The machine prints out an invoice with the name water, physical receipt, and the rest of the data fields. Selling with a fixed price, you just press 1 PLU button, then cash. Machine will print an invoice like this. So that's a fixed price. If you want to edit 1000 to 900, you type 900, price 1, PLU, cash. Something like this. The same product at a different price. Doing the buyer spin, same procedure. You press shift, then you press price, machine displays buyer spin. Now this window, you just enter the buyer's pin. Type P. Changing from letter to digits, you press SUBT, then 0512381105, then V. Yes, cash. Then enter the amount. Let's say 1000. Press the price button, 1 PLU, to call the PLU name, then cash. Like this, it will have the name buyer pin just below the supplier's name, buyer pin. You can still not use the PLU way, you can use the department way. So you just type 1000 DP, then cash. So it will print P, the name ETR machine at 1000, and the other name, the data fields. Doing the credit note, need to do a credit note of this invoice. So I'm going to reference the invoice invoice number 16, shift F currency. You see credit note, debit note, press cash, enter the amount which is 16, press cash, choose one which is credit, to auto-populates the CU invoice number, enter the amount of the amount you need to reverse, which is 100, press DP1, then cash. So this is what we call partial reversal. So I've reversed 100 out of the original 1000. So you can see the name in credit note and also the reference from the original one. Selling with the invoice number, how you do that is you press the shift and the clerk, machine displays invoice number. So you can say the invoice number is DJV 2022. Then cash, enter the amount, press the department or the product name. Then you see just below here we have the invoice number DJV 2022. To perform the daily Z report, you do that from this device. So you press menu, get to Z, press again menu, enter the password for zeros, use the arrow up, press it, hold for 2 seconds, press it again until you get the 4 zeros. So like that. Then on daily Z, you press menu, then you choose the mode of communication. If it's at RS232, you choose 1, then you press menu till print the daily Z. We have the number of invoices generated at that time is 7, a cash of 6,000, and also the number of receipts. Number of debit, the credit note and debit note is 11. Then the rest shows you the figures which were transacted. For example, the total is 6,000. Total of credit is 100. Total of debit is also 100. And the information stored in the memory is 19,000. So that's it on Z report. To do the Proforma invoice, you press the shift and F currency, then use the clerk button to get to Proforma invoice. Press cash, enter the amount you need to produce for the Proforma, then press DP, then cash. So you'll be able to see we have Proforma for water. The machine supports the discount sales. So how we do that is you enter the amount you need, which is marked, we call it the marked price, press DP1, then we say I need to do a discount of 20%. So you press 20, then you press this button with percentage minus, like that. So the machine does the deduction, then you press cash. So at this, you'll see just below ETR machine, negative 20%, which is now the amount over there. The machine supports the feature of doing duplication. Immediately after the sales, you just press cash. So it will print a duplicate for that sale. Or else, if this duplicate comes just immediately after generating the original invoice, you can just get to the EJ mode, which is by pressing the clerk button continuously till you get to EJ. Then you press cash, input password which is 4 zeros, then cash, get to EJ receipts, press cash, then read the number of the invoice you need to regenerate again. In my case it's 35. See here, 35. So I type 35, then the machine will reprint a report, a sales receipt like this. So you say sales receipt copy, similar to, see the invoice number is 35. So that's it about Aclas CRV5X and the FC4. Thank you for having my time.